All right, so we're continuing to follow the truly malignant growth of the coronavirus anti-vaccine movement, and I have some really stunning video to show you today. This is real video of a hearing in Ohio about a bill which would ban any Ohio business or school from mandating COVID vaccination. This looks like a satirical show. When you watch it, it actually looks like an episode of Judge Judy or something, or a Saturday Night Live parody of Judge Judy, but it's sadly real. Here you are going to see Sherry Tenpenny, who goes by doctor. Now, she is an osteopathic physician. I don't want to get into a whole thing about MD versus DO. She is a DO. Let's not even really touch that right now because I will get a lot of hate and furious people. Let's simply say there are lots of reasonable DOs without question. There are also just tons and tons of nutty osteopathic doctors, including quack chiropractors and anti-vaccine nuts and all sorts of different stuff. We're just going to focus on Sherry Tenpenny here. Sherry Tenpenny spent much of this hearing saying, we really shouldn't live in fear of coronavirus. But then she shows up and spreads insane, irrational fears about vaccines. Take a look at this first video clip.
Thinking, if you can think of any other product in any other industry that has killed more than 5,000 people stated in the VAERS database, and even if only half of those are true, 2,500 deaths in 6 months of use, and it's still full court press, full steam ahead. So it makes one have to wonder why. Why are we still doing this? Why are we putting people into nursing homes like that happened in New York and put people with known COVID into place?
So she first testified, stop living in fear of COVID. There's too much fear. People are too afraid. And then she says, you really should be afraid of that vaccine. That vaccine is actually something to really be afraid of. And then it truly went off the rails with Tenpenny claiming that there is metal in the vaccine which causes forks to stick to your forehead. She saw a video about that on the internet. And then she also just ties in some conspiracies about 5G cell phone networks. So let's hear from Dr. Sherry Tenpenny.
And some of the information that I think had been discussed on your podcast related to EMF frequencies.
That was a thought.
And
it was because right now we're all kind of hypothesizing. I mean, what is it that's actually being transmitted that's causing all of these things? Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers. Not proven yet, but we're trying to figure out what is it that's being transmitted to these unvaccinated people.
How insane is this stuff? This really should make us scared about the future of this country. It is shocking that this person was able to become a doctor of osteopathy. I have a hard time understanding how she even accomplishes simple things. Like, how does she go grocery shopping if her view of the world is this ridiculous? How did she drive a car to this hearing, quite frankly? Later on, one of the committee members asked Tenpenny, this hearing was in Ohio, remember, Dr. Tenpenny, how many people in Ohio where the hearing is being conducted have died from being vaccinated against COVID? Check out how that went.
For the record, if I missed it here or there, of the 5.5 million Ohioans who have gotten the COVID-19 shot through today over the last 6 months, how many do you believe have been killed by that shot?
Well, I guess I could just talk to you, right? So, I don't know.
Okay, so she's not sure. She's not sure how many people died from the vaccine in Ohio. All right. Is it out of line to say that if she truly believes this stuff, she should be evaluated for delusions, psychosis, paranoid schizophrenia? Like, I'm not joking about mental illness. Is it out of line to ask that? How is she testifying as an expert on anything never mind vaccines. So what's happening here, to give you a little background on the bill, is that Republicans in Ohio, in the state General Assembly, want to weaken Ohio's vaccination laws for all vaccines, not just for COVID-19. So this was a hearing about House Bill 248. And the legislation would ban vaccine requirements on customers, employees, or students from businesses, hospitals, nursing homes, K-12 schools, colleges, daycares, or others. It would also prevent governments, insurers, or businesses from offering incentives for people to get vaccinated or even requesting that people get vaccinated. So it's an outrageous bill. And again, remember, they want to be about, we don't want regulation, except we're going to say businesses would be outlawed from even encouraging employees to go and get themselves vaccinated. It's absolutely bonkers. And the Ohio Capital Journal points out that under the bill, if you are an asthmatic small business owner, for example, meaning you are at significantly higher risk of complications from COVID-19, you would have no legal right to require or even ask that your employees or customers that come in be vaccinated. You're a small business owner. Republicans are all about, hey, we're for business, we're against regulation, let these small business owners do what they want to do. They would prevent you, this law would prevent you from even saying, because of my status health-wise, I am requesting, not even necessarily mandating, I am requesting that my employees or my customers be vaccinated. So this is an absolute disaster that they are going in this direction. And look at the people who are testifying here. I mean, it is depressing that these are folks who are increasingly having an impact and having a say. And if you just listened, watch the videos, you see people sitting in the crowd sort of nodding as Dr. Tenpenny says these wacky things. It is depressing to see. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pakman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. It takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft, and it's free. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pakman.